They cheered for me, but my dad never looked up. Not once. And when I found out why, I wished I'd never checked his phone. My name is Ella, and the moment I walked across that stage to grab my diploma, I saw him. My dad. Not clapping, not smiling, not even looking up. Just hunched over his phone like the world around him didn't exist. My heart cracked open right there in front of 800 people. But here's the twist. He wasn't texting. He wasn't scrolling. He was recording every single second of my little sister's graduation, which was happening next week. I still remember the weight of my cap, the way my tassel swung with every shaky step I took toward that podium. The sun was blazing, the crowd was cheering, and my mom was sobbing into her tissue like I'd just won an Oscar. I scanned the bleachers for him, my dad, the man who taught me to ride a bike, who stayed up with me during all-nighters before finals, who promised me I wouldn't miss this for the world. And there he was, front row, phone in hand, screen glowing, focused on his screen. I tried to blink it away. Maybe he was checking the time. Maybe he got an emergency work email. Maybe, just maybe, he was live streaming this for Grandma who couldn't fly in. I clung to that hope like a life raft as I forced a smile for the camera, shook the principal's hand, and walked off stage feeling like I'd just performed. A solo in an empty theater. After the ceremony, I marched straight to him, diploma crumpled in my fist. "Dad," I said, voice trembling, "were you even watching me?" He looked up, startled, like I'd woken him from a dream. "Of course I was, sweetheart. Great job." He went to hug me, but I stepped back. "Then why were you on your phone?" "The whole time?" He hesitated. "Just a second." But that second told me everything. His eyes flickered to the side. "Oh, you know, just replying to a few things. Busy day." I didn't buy it. Not for a second. Later that night, while everyone was asleep, I crept into the living room. Dad's phone was charging on the coffee table. My fingers hovered over it. I shouldn't. I knew I shouldn't. But something inside me screamed, "You deserve to know." I unlocked it with his thumbprint. He always sleeps with it on the armrest. Bad habit. Scrolled to his camera roll. And there it was. Dozens of videos, all labeled Maya Grad Rehearsal. Maya, my sister, her middle school graduation next week. She's 13. I clicked the first one. There she was, on stage at her school's practice. Ceremony, beaming in her too big gown, waving like a Disney princess. And in the background, my dad's voice, whispering, "That's my girl. Look at you go. So proud." I clicked another, and another. Close-ups, slow pans, zoomed-in shots of her name tag, her shoes, her smile. He'd even recorded her walking to her seat twice, from different angles. I sat there on the cold floor, tears burning my eyes, my own graduation gown still half-zipped beside me on the couch. The silence in the house felt heavier than ever. That's when I heard the creak of the stairs. Dad stood there in his pajamas, eyes wide. "Ella, what are you doing?" I didn't answer. I just held up his phone, the screen still glowing with Maya's face. He froze, then sighed. "It's not what you think." "Then what is it, Dad?" My voice broke. "Because it looks like you recorded every second of her practice, but couldn't even look up for my real one." He sat down beside me, slow and heavy. I messed up, Ella. I really did." And then he said something I never expected. "I was recording Maya because I'm scared I won't be there for her real graduation." My breath caught. "What do you mean?" I whispered. He looked down, swallowed hard. "The doctors called today. While you were getting ready for your ceremony, they found something in my lungs." The room spun. "I didn't want to ruin your day," he said, voice cracking. So I stayed quiet. I thought, if I can't be there for Maya's big day next year, at least she'll have the videos. At least she'll know I was proud. I stared at him. The man who forgot to watch me walk across the stage, was trying to make sure my sister never felt forgotten. I didn't know whether to scream or hug him, so I did both. And that's where part 1 ends, with me clinging to my dad on the living room floor, his phone still glowing between us, my diploma forgotten on the couch, and a whole new storm just beginning to brew. They say the truth will set you free, but no one tells you. Sometimes the truth drags you through hell first. The hug I gave my dad that night, it wasn't sweet, it wasn't gentle, it was desperate. Like if I held on tight enough, I could glue his lungs back together with my hands. His body shook against mine, not from sadness, but from something deeper, something scared. He didn't cry, but his silence, that was louder than any sob. We sat there on the floor for what felt like hours. Me in my wrinkled graduation gown, him in pajamas, phone still glowing with Maya's smiling face. Mom eventually came down, drawn by the quiet. When she saw us, she didn't scream, didn't panic, just sank beside Dad, wrapped her arms around both of us, and whispered, "We'll fight this, all of us." The next morning, everything changed. Dad called in sick to work. First time in 17 years. We drove to the hospital together. No music, no chatter, just the hum of the car and the sound of Maya asking from the back seat, "Is Daddy okay?" Mom squeezed my hand. I squeezed back. Neither of us answered. The doctor's office smelled like antiseptic and bad news. Dr. Patel was kind. Calm, too. Calm. She showed us scans, pointed to shadows on Dad's lungs, said the word no one wants to hear. Suspicious. Not cancer. Not yet. But we need to biopsy. ASAP. I watched Dad's face as she spoke. He didn't flinch, didn't cry, just nodded like he'd been expecting this, like he'd known. And maybe he had. That night, while Mom stayed with Dad at the hospital for pre-op tests, I sat with Maya in our living room. She was coloring a picture, a stick figure family under a rainbow. "Daddy's gonna be fine, right, Ella?" she asked, not looking up. "Yeah, bug," I lied. "He's Superman," she grinned. "Then why's he been crying in the garage?" My pencil snapped in my hand. "What?" "Last week, I went to get my scooter. He was sitting in his truck, crying, real quiet. He didn't see me. My stomach dropped. Dad hadn't just found out that day. He'd known something was wrong. For weeks. And instead of telling us, he started recording Maya. Every school play, every choir concert, every goofy dance in the kitchen. He was building a time capsule, just in case he didn't get to. See her grow up? I wanted to scream at him. Why didn't he tell us? Why did he let me walk across that stage thinking he didn't care? But then I remembered his face when I confronted him. The guilt, the fear, the love. So thick it choked him. He wasn't ignoring me. He was saying goodbye. To her. The biopsy came back 3 days later. We all sat in the waiting room. Mom white-knuckling her coffee cup, Maya swinging her legs, me pretending to scroll on my phone. When Dr. Patel walked in, her smile was different. "Good news," she said. "It's not cancer." Mom burst into tears. Maya jumped up and hugged Dad's legs. I just sat there, frozen, waiting for the but. There wasn't one. "It's a rare fungal infection," Dr. Patel explained. "Aggressive but treatable. Caught early. You're lucky." Lucky. The word tasted bitter. Dad looked at me, eyes wet. "I'm sorry, Ella. I should have told you. I didn't want your graduation to be about me, about hospitals, about fear." I didn't say anything, just stood up and hugged him. Harder than before. But here's the twist you didn't see coming. 2 weeks later, Maya's middle school graduation arrived. Sunny day, blue sky, same field where I'd walked, same bleachers, same crowd. Only this time, Dad wasn't on his phone. He was front row, camera in hand, but not pointed at Maya. He was filming me, every smile, every tear, every proud clap as I cheered for my little sister walking across her stage. He zoomed in on my face when Maya waved at me. He recorded my laugh when she tripped on her gown. He even caught me wiping my eyes when she gave her little speech about my big sister who never gives up. After the ceremony, I pulled him aside. "Why were you filming me today?" He smiled. Small, tired, healing. Because I almost missed the most important thing. Watching you become the woman I always hoped you'd be. Strong, loving, even when you're hurt. Especially when you're hurt. He handed me his phone. On the screen, a folder labeled, "Ella, the one who held us together." Inside, dozens of clips. Me helping Mom cook while Dad rested, me reading to Maya at night, me sitting silently beside his hospital bed, me smiling through my own pain. So Maya wouldn't see it. "I was so scared of leaving you girls," he whispered. "But watching you these past weeks, I realized you won't just survive without me. You'll lead, you'll love, you'll carry each other. And that's the greatest gift I could ever leave behind." I cried, right there, in front of everyone. Not because I was sad, but because I finally understood. Dad wasn't choosing Maya over me. He was scared he wouldn't get to choose anything ever again. And in his fear, he tried to leave pieces of himself behind, in videos, in whispers, in quiet moments caught on camera. But here's the beautiful truth he didn't know yet. He didn't need to record everything to be remembered. Because love like ours, it doesn't live in phones. It lives in hugs that last too long, in inside jokes at 2 a.m., in the way I now tuck Maya in every night, just like he used to, in the way he watches me now, not through a screen, but with eyes full of pride. The doctors say he'll make a full recovery. The videos, we still have them. We watch them together sometimes. Laugh at Maya's goofy waves, cry at Dad's shaky voiceovers. But now we make new memories. Unrecorded, unplanned, real. Like last week when Maya dragged us all outside to lie in the grass and watch the clouds. No phones, no cameras, just us. Dad pointed to one shaped like a dragon. Maya screamed it looked like a taco. I said it was obviously a graduation cap. And for the first time in months, we all laughed. Really laughed. Dad reached over and squeezed my hand. No words. None needed, because some stories don't need to be filmed to be unforgettable. Some love doesn't need to be captured to last forever. And some dads, they mess up. They scare you. They break your heart. But if you hold on, they'll spend the rest of their lives making it right.